After doing this trek, I can say that this place is a trekker's paradise. This is one of the very few treks in South India where you spend 2 nights in the forest. This is a 3-day trek, and for these 3 days, there won't be any electricity and no mobile network. The joy of losing completely in the indescribable beauty of nature, the satisfaction of conquering the peak, and the peace one gets while sitting on the top of the peak, experiencing cool wind patted by fog, and most importantly, spending 3 days in the thick jungles without any distractions. It's priceless. This trek will refresh you in a way that any other trek cannot do. I'm talking about Agasthiyarkoodam trek, one of the toughest, beautiful and restricted trek in South India. Agastiyarkoodam is the highest peak in Podigai Hills range of Tamil Nadu. It shares its boundaries with 5 districts, 3 in Kerala and 2 in Tamil Nadu. Getting past to this trek is very difficult. This trek is organized by Kerala Forest Department and we need to contact the District Forest Office of Trivandrum. I have contacted Ratish Cheta, who arranged a Variad motor trek for us to get passes, and he booked the pass for us. The base station for this trek is Bonakad, which is 60 kilometers away from Trivandrum. We need to reach Bonakad before 10 am to start the trek. There is a bus from Trivandrum at 5:30 am to Bonakad. If you miss the bus, you need to book a taxi to Bonakad.
பசு அந்த பக்கம் தான் வருது. ஆனால் அது இங்கே மட்டும்தான் இருக்குது. அது டிஸ்கவரி சேனல் எல்லாமே ரிப்போர்ட் பண்ணியாச்சு. രതീഷ് ചേട്ടൻ്റെ ചോദിച്ചാൽ മതി. ആ രതീഷൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ചോദിച്ചാൽ മതി. രതീഷനെ പറഞ്ഞത്.
By 9 am, the forest officer did the briefing. He said a couple of years back, a senior scientist who came for research in this mountain had a minor fall, creating a small wound in his face. It took 48 hours to bring him to the base and get into the hospital. But it's all over when reached hospital. He died because of blood loss. Few years back, an elephant attacked and killed a trekker who was trying to click a photograph of the animal with the camera flashlight on. There was another incident too, not long before, when a bison attacked another person whose life could also not be saved. These were the stories the forest beat officer told us during his elaboration of the rules and guidelines to be followed while trekking. But this is what this trek is meant to be, the adventure of exploring and experiencing the jungle in all its gruesomeness. After the checks and formalities, we finally began our trek around 10 am. The total trek distance is around 20 kilometers, and this trek is divided into 2 parts. First part is from the trek starting point to the base camp, and the second part is from base camp to the peak. Ah. The initial part of the trail, about 4 kilometers, was through wider trek paths. The route is not that much steep, and there are a number of waterfalls and streams on the way, so there is no need to carry large water bottles. Once you complete the 4 kilometers, the route enters into the grasslands, and you will get the first glimpse of the hills that you are going to climb. There was a small temporary hut at the 6 kilometer mark used by the guides for resting, and it is an ideal place for having lunch. We reached the hut around 1 o'clock and we had our lunch. It was raining heavily on that day. The last 5 kilometers of the trek will be through thick forest, and most part of it was vertical climbing.
20,500 steps.
Oh, Kannada. Avane Sriman Narayana. The base camp consists of 2 large sheds where 100 people can sleep. It has a small kitchen where the guides cook food for us. You cannot go anywhere near the base camp as this is a very thick forest which is a home for so many wild animals. Most of the people who reach the base camp will have their food and sleep by 5 o'clock because of the tiredness. And of course, there are people who share so many stories and songs with you. On the second day, breakfast will get ready by 7 o'clock and we need to start the trek by 8 o'clock. At 2 kilometer mark from the base camp, we will reach a small pond where you can dare to take bath in that cold water. trek route from the base camp to the peak is very difficult. There are places where we need to climb big rocks using the ropes. There is a small statue of Agastiyar on the peak. People do offer puja to it. The climate on the peak is heavenly, with all the mist covered and wind blowing heavily. Few people did puja, few people did meditation, and few people just sat there enjoying the climate. We can stay on the peak until 1 o'clock. We need to start climbing down from the peak by 1 o'clock so that we can reach to the base camp by the time it gets dark. Climbing down from the peak to the base camp is very difficult. We need to climb down 4 rocks using the ropes, and it is like literally rappelling. We need to be very careful as the wind blows heavily. We reached the base camp by 3 o'clock, and like first day, few people had their food and started sleeping again. Unlike the other treks, this trek will give you so much of time to take rest and talk with your fellow trekkers. On the third day morning, we need to get up again by 6 o'clock, and the breakfast will get ready by 7 o'clock. After eating the breakfast, it's time to say goodbye to that Adirumala base camp and start trekking down to the Bonaccord. One good thing that this trek taught me is it stopped me from putting my hand into my pocket every 2 minutes to check my mobile. Like all other treks, this trek will also give you so many contacts and so many future friends with whom you can do your future trekking. Try booking a pass for this trek this January and enjoy your 3-day stay in forest. I'll come back with another video. Until then, happy traveling.